What's up, everybody? Brother Nathan here, back with episode 12 of the Kingdom Project. And with me, as we did last time, Ricky Shane Barksdale is here.
What up?
And then we also have special guest, Lil Colby Barksdale in the house. Let's give it to him.
What's up?
Here we go, Lil Colby.
So my name's Colby. I'm 15. Been serving at the river for probably 4 or 5 years as keys player. Kind of did it all for a while.
15 years old.
Yeah.
Been serving as a musician for 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
You've been playing keys at the river since you was 10, 11 years old?
12.
12 years. Dog.
Yeah.
No lie.
It
Dog.
was second keys.
Well,
So
well,
All right.
yes, yes.
It's keys.
When we realized he had talent, we were like, okay.
Absolute weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Serves in youth all the time. Because, hey,
Clutch, bro.
if he's good enough to be on the main platform, he's on the youth platform.
no doubt.
100%.
No doubt.
All right, keep going. My bad.
So,
I just think that's huge, bro, for like 11, 12-year-old
yeah.
to be playing keys on a main platform. That's huge.
So I play keys, do kind of some other stuff up here, probably 3 times a week, I'd say. Just doing stuff. Kind of started from classical music, and then just kind of Lakin just kind of taught me the chords, and then I just started like doing the church songs.
That's my wife.
You listen to classical music and just try to pick it up on the keys?
No, like I took lessons for classical music.
Okay.
But like that's just like the little notes. It's not like the chords.
Yeah,
So
and
then I
then-
had to learn the chords, and then from there, that point, I
Then
had.
Lakin said, let's worship a little bit.
Mhm.
Let's maybe try to learn that.
Yeah.
Okay, so keys, main sanctuary, keys in the
Youth.
youth, but also what probably most of you know, but some of you don't know, is Lil Colby plays at Kids Camp. Played at
Junior.
this year's junior camp,
Yep.
senior camp.
He's a dog, bro.
Weapon.
Yep.
He's
Play at
legit.
Revive.
He went from Ricky Shane's little brother to, hey, that's Colby.
Yep.
Yeah,
Ricky
people-
Shane, aren't you
people ask
aren't you
me-
Colby and Caleb's brother?
Yeah, like people ask me, like, aren't you? Hold on. Are you the keyboards player's brother? I'm like, yep. Like Colby, like you're Colby Barksdale's brother?
How's that
Like, yeah,
feel?
I'm the ugly one.
Got that right.
Or better yet, I'm the good looking one, should I say?
You probably should have said that one, but the fact
Yeah.
that you went, I'm the ugly one, shows where your heart's
Yeah.
at.
That's right.
Little
Try not to
Caleb,
lie,
I
and
boost
then
him
you
a
had
little
to-
bit, you
little
know.
Colby,
Yeah.
little Colby the looker.
Yeah.
So, okay, we had Caleb on here. Was that last month, I believe?
I think so.
Had him on here with Brother William.
Yeah.
And he talked a little bit about where he, y'all living here, y'all moving off, and all that different stuff. So y'all being 3 years apart, we'll talk a little bit about that, but then we're just going to see where this flows. At any point, you want to chime in there with what the Lord's done for you or something the Lord lays on your heart, let's go, Ricky Shane as well. But, man, let's just dive into this thing. So I think, one, it's huge. I want to get obviously you've only lived one way, but like you haven't gone to other churches in your teenage years. But how big of a deal was it for you when you were 12 years old, taking the platform and being able to serve at that young of age? Would you say obviously that was beneficial, but would you say that was like terrifying for you, or you were glad you got in it that early?
Honestly, I would say, really, like it really wasn't like it didn't seem like it was a big deal, cause like I played, but it just didn't seem like it was a big deal.
Yeah.
And then I started like getting better, and then I started like they would like turn like they always would have me way down, except in my in ears.
Yeah.
And like I knew that, but I didn't, you know what I'm saying. And then they started turning me up, and then I was like, oh, I'm pretty good. I'm like getting pretty good.
Yeah, for sure.
And then so I just like kept going with it, and then it just kind of like went from there, basically.
So you start young. You started when y'all lived in Iowa.
I started the classical stuff when I was in Iowa. Took lessons for like 2 years on
Okay.
that, and then
I believe you
Came
guys
here.
moved back here.
yeah, we moved back here, and then I just didn't do it anymore. I just kind of lost interest in it in a way
Okay.
because I didn't like the classical stuff. And then Lakin figured out that Lakin gives lessons, and Mom was like, "Well, will you do it to Colby?" And Lakin was like, "I don't, sure." And then she just kind of taught me the chords and stuff, and then from there, like I said a minute.
Hold on, back up. So then you've had way more teachers. Time to name drop of other teachers that you've had that have taught you a little bit about piano.
Oh, Cameron Cook, Julian Tabaris,
Who else? Come on. Who's that other guy?
Brother William,
Oh, William, of
okay.
course. Yeah.
Ricky Hatfield.
Oh,
Weapon.
Yeah,
isn't there a guy that plays with James Wilson, or is that
Julian
okay? That's
Tabaris.
Julian. Gotcha.
Zachary Diggs.
Dude, this guy right here,
Just running
a
through the
prodigy,
names,
bro.
huh?
he's a prodigy.
You got all those connections, bro.
Yeah, well, really, it was UBCI music. I just kind of like stopped for a little while and then started taking those lessons for a little while,
Yeah.
a couple weeks. I just didn't, I don't know, just didn't. I liked it, but I don't know. I just don't like the lessons of it. I don't know.
Yeah. The learning part. You just wanted it to come natural.
He
Yeah.
would get on a call
be
with
natural.
Julius, right? And what is Julian? I don't know his name, guys. Sorry, Julius Caesar, whatever your name is. He'd get on a call with him. From what I understand, they'd just be playing around for a solid 45 minutes, and then Mom would be, like, "What are you doing? What did you learn?" And he'd have no idea. She's like, "Man, we
was
just had a
just
great
jamming.
time.
Absolutely
We just
not.
had a great time."
I was just jamming, bro. Just like I'm sure y'all do. So, do y'all do that at the house? Like, cause I mean, Caleb plays a lot too. Do y'all jam at the house or not so much?
You'd be surprised at how much we don't actually. Like, we really,
They fight too much.
like, we do, but like, it's not like on the like basis. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because really, like, keyboard's out in the living room. Caleb can bring his guitars wherever he wants
Yeah.
with that amp, and then but like I kind of have to be in the living room, so like I have to stay out there if I'm playing or something.
Yeah.
So every now and then I'll bring it into his room and we'll jam for a little while.
So when are y'all getting Callie on the drums?
She wants to learn guitar actually.
Okay.
Yeah, she's learning. Well, she has a guitar.
Because we're about to get her in preteen. So I mean, hey, let's get them instruments going.
Yeah.
Know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
Let's get them instruments rolling.
funny fact here, I have my dad has 6 kids, and I have an older brother,
Yeah.
and I have a younger brother that's right above Caleb, and all of them except Callie and myself can play the instrument. Not just one, but probably multiple.
But you sing though.
Yeah,
So
I do
what?
sing.
So Callie sings, or she just runs track like an absolute weapon.
Callie can remember words like the back of her hand. I'm not even gonna lie about that. Like she's really good at remembering them words.
So so the word of the Lord.
Yeah.
So she's gonna preach.
Oh, for sure.
100%.
Let's go. She is kind of actually a little bit. I don't want to say bossy because that kind of seems like a negative word. She's stern.
It's okay. You can say.
She's strong-willed. Strong-willed is what you want to say. I've seen her get on to y'all.
Colby's got PTSD from Callie.
So I've seen her get on to y'all. So you and Caleb. So there's that. Hey, if we're remembering words, we just memorize the word
The word.
and then just take that out.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. So we talk about like the importance of being in a youth group. I think with pretty much every youth that we bring on here. So would you? How do I want to say this? It's definitely impact your life, but you don't really know because when you moved back here when you were 11,
10.
10, okay. So then you went. You didn't ever go to kids, did you? Because we didn't have
I went to
preteens at the
kids
time.
With Brantley, I went to kids with Brantley, and I didn't like it because we just like went outside all the time, and we didn't really like get to.
Kids camp. He's talking about kids camp.
No, I'm talking about kids
Church.
church.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Hour.
we just like went outside.
That's
and,
that.
like, it was more of a kids thing, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And like it's nothing against them. I'm just saying it wasn't
Right.
wasn't for me.
You was trying to learn a word.
And then I was like, Mom, I just want to stay in church. And she was like, well, we're gonna see if we can get you youth. And so then Mom went and talked to Brother Will, and he was like, "Oh yeah, come." And I just started coming
Bro, that's what I'm talking about.
as a 12-year-old.
And then started playing. You started playing in youth.
Yeah, I started playing on Wednesday nights after Lakin
Yeah.
worked her magic on me.
Lala did a little, played up in there a little
Yeah,
bit,
she
Brother
started for
Gerald.
me. Yep.
And then you kind of just took it right after that.
Yep.
All right, so here's what we're going to do.
Wish Lakin, would help me understand how to play the piano.
Well, here's the thing. Talk about why I was teaching you stuff. One time, I asked Sister Carissa to help me sing because she is
A dog.
a dog at singing. And so I asked her to help me sing, and that mug told me, you need some talent for me to help you sing first. I was like,
What?
oh no.
Disrespect.
Oh, no. Think your boy don't have no talent. So obviously I had to try a little bit and show her.
What?
So
You're up.
so no, I didn't. I cracked about 83 times. But there were like 4 times up in there where I was like, okay. And she said, hey, I can work with that a little bit. Like I can help you there a little bit. Guess how many times we practice? Zero.
Zip
Ah.
Zero. Just like Lake sees some promise in Ricochet and says,
No.
no. Which, hey, I'll be honest with you. I'd rather be the guy that worships down front, and then I'll preach and just let her help all those young kids, all the youth girls. Let her help them, because I'm kind of, old boy, 33 years old. I'm kind of lost cause. There ain't no point in me trying to get real great at singing right now.
Yeah.
Just let me just work on trying to be a youth.
Do my
pastor.
thing, and I'm gonna stay in my lane.
Let her
and-
train up the generation coming behind us. My time's gone.
So Colby, I got a question for you from, I guess, a standpoint of being brother, kind of being volunteer pastor over different teams and things. What's been your experience, I guess, per se, with leading and being a part of our teams here at the River? And I know there's a different dynamic with you being my brother and me having to address you at times, having to have different conversations. But what's some things that you've kind of encountered that maybe on the positive level? I actually got you to be on our volunteer summit, our forum, and you said a couple of things that I thought was really incredible. But one of the things I want you to kind of touch on is just from being a young person that has served on our teams and has come up understanding a little bit about music, and then progressing into someone that is one of our main piano players. I'm sure that was a dream of yours.
Yeah.
Like kind of talk about that process. We know that you've learned how to do it. We've seen how you got there, but what's it feel like now? Like every single week being able to do that.
So I'll say, like from the start where Lakin was doing her thing, and then started playing and with the whole band and everything, and it was like a big family, and like if I would mess up, then they would help me. If they messed up, I've tried to help them, but it didn't work very well. But anyway, from now, I think seeing the younger people start stepping up is really
It's really been cool.
it's like word going up, and some of the older people are starting to step down, and it's like we're starting to take our spots in the, you know what I'm saying? Like
What would
what
would you say to someone that's young, that say
just
like
do
10
it.
or 11?
Just try. Just try anything and everything you can do.
Yeah.
Cause like I would have never thought that I would play piano. Honestly,
Right.
I thought I would just like.
I feel you, bro.
Be,
I know
like what's happened is not what I expected.
right.
Like I expected just to be like roaming the altars, praying with people,
right.
and it's just a whole different thing. And
Caleb said the same thing. Just like, hey, just do it.
yeah,
Just step up and
just
play.
try at least.
Nike.
And we talk.
Like the worst thing that can happen is for you to just try and it fail, and you just know that that's not you.
Right. You gave it an effort.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, okay, you maybe don't want to take this to everything in your life, but okay, if somebody that doesn't know how to play the keys right now, you don't know how to play the keys right now. If you try and you're not good at it, so what? You didn't lose anything because you didn't know how to play anyway. But what if you learn it, and what if you're actually good at it, and now you create an opportunity to serve?
Right.
And I'll also add to that, if you fail and you're just like, I don't like this anymore. Like, this is just getting on my nerves. I suck. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're just being all negative about it. But you know that you're capable of it. You gotta, like, you can't just let it be that way. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you gotta at least try again. And if you know for a fact that it's not for you, then that's okay.
That's it.
But if you tried and it just didn't go good, but you just like didn't try very hard,
Yeah.
then that to me, I don't know.
Brother William told me one day, which I go back to Brother William a lot because he's youth pastor before me, but he was the only, because we talked about it before, I didn't have a youth group, so I'd never seen a youth pastor work. So Brother William was youth pastor when I came here, so he's the only one I've ever seen work, and I take a lot from him. And he told me one day about like letting other people serve, like letting young people go sing, let them play the instruments, let them speak. He said, bro, let them fail. Like, let them get up there and not be good. No big deal. Let them try. Because there's probably going to be moments in there where you're like, hey, like you can build them up. Like, hey, look, you had this, this, and this, and it was, we can build on this. It's your first time you were nervous. Like, just try it. So that's huge when you're like, hey, if you fail, you fail. But
Bring out the positive.
Right.
You shouldn't, like, as me, if somebody wants to come play second behind me, or if someone wants to play main in front of me or whatever, like, it doesn't matter, and they fail, don't bring them down, bring them up.
Right.
I like that.
And I've seen, which I play a lot of ball, so a lot of my stuff is sports related. But I've seen a lot of coaches be like, hey, when we win, I'm usually tougher on people because you don't want them to get too high up. You don't want to start slacking off. But when people fail, he said, I try to be more loving, more uplifting, because you're not as bad as people think you are. You're not nearly as bad as you think you were when you went up there and bombed it.
There's always someone that's worse.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's somebody that doesn't play or somebody who wouldn't play, but you tried to play. So there's that effort, the A for effort thing or whatever, but you're not as bad as you think you were when you went up there and bombed your first time ever speaking, playing, singing, whatever it was. So, like you said, build those positives up. Don't kick a man while he's down, so to speak. Like there's some wins in there that you can pick up. Just the fact of somebody taking opportunity and doing it is big, because it's tough to get that courage and boldness to go up there in front of 25 youth or 30 or 40 youth, and then if you can't go get up in front of them, it's going to be a lot tougher to ever get on the main platform, which is not like, okay, I get to the main platform and now I have arrived. I can chill out or whatever. I'm as big. I'm as good as it gets. That's where like the work starts. Okay, now you need to always be that example. People see you up there. Actually, let's talk to that maybe a little bit on being on the platform at 15 years old. And I think you carry pressure and stress pretty well I know you've been in stressful times before. Auditioning for Allstate, I know, is like a big thing. But it seems like being on the platform or being in that forum when we did that, I love my volunteer summit. I love my river weekend. You handled it well. You handled the spotlight, so to speak, well. But speak to being on the main platform as a young person, and maybe the stress or pressure of, okay, people see me, people know me, now I gotta act a certain way or carry myself a certain way, but I'm still a teenager going to high school, facing teenage things.
I'd say just be yourself. Like, don't, like, when you get up there or you do something, just don't act different, because then that just shows that now that I'm at this place, I'm just gonna act different, act like I'm someone else.
Yeah.
But
Right.
I'm not Julian. I'm Colby.
Right.
Like, I can't act like I'm Julian.
Yeah.
Because I'm not Julian.
Being authentic.
Yeah.
You're fearfully and wonderfully made as the Lord has made you.
Yeah.
Be who you are. Use the voice that you're. Yeah, because I heard somebody say that getting money, like people all of a sudden get rich or get famous or whatever, and it changes them. But I heard a guy say it really doesn't. It reveals who they really are.
Right.
But they couldn't be that person.
The heart of the matter.
When they needed all the people. They couldn't need that person when they actually relied on other people. But now that they're rich, famous, blah, 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 whatever it is, they're at this position. They don't need people anymore, so they can just be exactly who they are at the core. But yeah, like you saying, being you, but staying humble and understanding, hey, the Lord gave me these gifts. I've worked hard to get here, but the Lord gave me the ability to use these is huge. But yeah, trying to become Julian when you're Colby, it doesn't work out. Being authentic that was huge for me when I first started speaking. Like I wanted to be camp meeting firecracker preacher, and I got up there and I didn't flow. Like though it sure didn't fit. And then when I came up through like kids and started teaching and going through preteens and started teaching, well then okay, I'm listening to Brother William and Pastor preach and realized real quick that ain't who I am. I gotta kind of stick to what I can do, or I'm gonna look like a big old phony.
You are.
Yeah, I'm gonna look like a big phony, and you can't take a platform or a pulpit and be fake. You got to be who the Lord made you to be. That's huge. I love that.
Yeah.
So you said, to the young people that possibly want to be in ministry or play an instrument or do something, just do it.
Yeah.
Right? You said be yourself no matter what. No matter what level you're at, just be yourself. I know for my own personal walk with Christ and my own ministry, one thing that I struggled with even coming up was I had an older brother, right? And Colby not only has one older brother, he doesn't have just one, he has 3 older brothers, right? All of them are in ministry. All of them do things. So, no, you have 3.
4.
Am I counting wrong? I am counting wrong.
You, Justin, Caleb,
wow.
Jonathan.
Wow. I'm getting old, guys.
I was counting myself.
4.
Like, wait, what?
Yeah, we have 4.
Hold up.
That's right. Justin, myself. I wouldn't count myself, guys. Caleb and myself. So you have 4 older brothers that are in ministry, that serve in some capacity, that, effectively are in the kingdom of God doing something.
Yeah.
How does that affect you?
I
know you said be yourself.
It sets the bar, I will say. Because, like, when the first year I did kids camp, or the first time that I went to any camp, really, and I would run around with Brantley, and Brantley's known because pastor. Well, then they'd ask who I was, and I'd say Colby Barksdale, and then they'd be like, well, do you know Ricky Shane Barksdale? Do you know Caleb? And it just kind of set the bar there because, he's known. Like, now I have to act a certain way. But then at the same time, be myself.
That's right.
And it just kind of, I'd say it sets where I have to be, but I'm not set, but I don't want to be who you are. Like, a lot of people say me and you are alike.
Right.
But I don't.
And what did I tell you before?
Yeah.
A long time ago, I said, don't be me.
Yeah, and like, I want to be like you, but at the same time, I don't.
Exactly, yeah.
And
take the good stuff.
Yeah.
Throw out the bad stuff.
No, like I'm saying, I want to be my own person.
Right.
I don't want to, like, I love you, Shane, but like, I want to be like a person that people know as Colby, and not as Shane.
Right. You want to be somebody different than Caleb.
Yeah.
You want to be somebody different than Justin and Jonathan.
Yeah.
Right.
I want to be my own individual person.
I think you are. I know you are.
I mean, you got to be the person that the Lord has called you to be, because there's a lot of people that Justin, Jonathan, Ricky, Shane, and Caleb ain't reaching that you can. So that the importance of remembering, even if you got people in front of you, and this goes with obviously siblings, because siblings are so easy because a lot of people compare yourself to them, but even people with like close friends who are successful in what they do, or they're used mightily, and maybe you don't. It's not a comparison of you to that person, because you got something. I love, and I've said this before, Brother Michael says everybody's a 10 at something, and you talking about failing. Try it and then fail. There's something that you are, but not trying to be Ricky Shane or Caleb, Jonathan, Justin, like you're trying to be.
'Cause I'm not the 10 at what they are at.
Right. It's like you're you, and we're trying to do everything for the Lord with the gifts that He gave us. But at the same time, like, hey, I respect their ministry. Right. Obviously, always respect other people's ministry, and you love the leadership that they have and what they've set for you. But the authentic you and leading the people that are coming behind you, like being that example for somebody coming behind you, that's the most important thing. Because I've heard you say before, when I was little, I wanted to be Ricky Shane.
Yeah, I did.
But then obviously you grow.
And I grew up. And
Don't be me.
And I think that's
I
big
just
for
saw
people,
him, and
though.
I just knew, like,
Yeah. You wanted
Yeah.
a lifestyle
Yeah.
that way. Hey, somebody that's living for the Lord and somebody that's used. But, yeah, then you get older and realize, okay, no, I want some of the qualities that he has.
Yeah.
And do some of the things that he
Yeah.
does. But I want to be Ricky Shane. I want to be
That's right.
Colby.
well, yeah.
And that's, bro, that, I think comparison, and that's with everything in the world. People's Instagram followers versus that
Yeah.
other person's Instagram followers. Or
people
your
get-
likes versus those likes. Comparison just...
It's a trap, bro.
It
like-
takes so
yeah.
much happiness
Yeah.
away. Because I mean,
And people
I don't
can
say
get-
joy because joy comes from the Lord, but it does. It takes people's happiness away because you could be doing something great and be coming up a different path than somebody else, and you instantly start comparing yourself, and you're either I'm way better than them, or I'll never be what they are.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm not Shane, but and when I was a kid, I wanted to be Shane, right? But when I wasn't Shane, and I was like, oh, I'm not Shane, like, I really want to be Shane, and then I started picking myself apart, and I was, I don't have his laugh, I don't know, like, I don't have him, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then that's when people can get down because they're not a person, but they want to be,
Oh yeah.
and
Right.
you have to be
Almost to the
yourself.
point,
yeah.
almost to the point where you start, and you don't maybe even realize it, but almost to the point where you start idolizing that person rather than going after what you're supposed to be or who the Lord's called you, trying to find
Or trying
that.
to reform your life.
Yeah, you're just trying to, how can I mold my way into being after this person? And
Yeah.
it's a form of idling after somebody. You don't even realize it. Like people who are trying to be like LeBron James or Kobe Bryant. Like, I understand what you're saying, but yeah, you take something like a work ethic or something like that. But yeah, when you start trying to mold it or just not worship, but you know what I'm saying, like just trying to chase after just being like them rather trying to be what you're supposed to be, it gets you in a trap pretty quick.
Yeah.
So we're getting close to our time, but I wonder if we could have one more deep question that we can. So just knowing Colby from being brothers with him, I know at one time you dealt with some internal struggles, like kind of anxiety. I don't know if it really dove into like a depression thing.
Yeah,
but you dealt with anxiety for a little while. So I know a lot of kids these days, a lot of young people, a lot of guys in your class and girls in your class deal with that. How did you come out of it? Like, what was that? What did that look like?
Ministry, because like I said a minute ago, like there's always, or almost always, I don't want to say always, but there's almost always someone that has more anxiety, someone that has more depression, someone has more everything than you, and seeing that and be able to help those people, and like for me, I would say one thing is help the person that has less than you, or help the person that isn't as fortunate as you, and that can help you because you're like, oh, they don't
that's
have
what
what I
happened
have.
with you,
Yeah, they don't have what I have. They don't have Jesus. They don't have the Holy Ghost. They don't have church.
Yeah.
And invite them, and then at that point, just minister to them,
Yeah.
and then just kind of it makes you take into account that you're more fortunate than what you think.
Right. Right.
You have more than what you think.
Right.
And like I have parents that do anything for me.
Absolutely.
And some of those kids don't.
Right.
Some of
So
them
just
never really
just
get
kind
to
of
see 'em.
seeing how God has blessed you and being able to be a part of something bigger than yourself per se, kind of what helped you come out of that season.
Because it's a group of people.
Right.
Church is not one person or a building. It's a
Right.
group of people.
Right. Just so kind of just pouring into others and
Yeah, pouring in others and seeing what they have and taking it in, but then realizing that it's not good.
that makes sense. That makes sense, man.
Well, especially when like pastor talks, because there was that big thing, and I ain't knocking it. There was that big thing that was going around. I am second because God is first. But then pastor said one day, actually, it's God is first, others are second. and then I am third.
Yeah.
And then putting that mentality into it is huge because you do start seeing other people's story rather than your story.
Yeah. And how do I say this? Our job as Christians isn't to get, well, it is, but at the same time, it kind of isn't. But, like, we need to get to heaven, but we need to bring people with us.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it isn't just about us, like what you just said. It's something bigger than us.
Right. First and foremost, you need to get you,
Yeah.
and then right there, because I mean, hey, what the Bible say about don't address the speck in your neighbor's eye when you got a beam sticking out of yours.
That's
you got to
right.
get yours. You got to get yourself
Yeah.
there. But then you need to make sure your family can get there and your friends can get there. And once you have
And reaching
found the way, once you found the narrow way that leads to life, then you got to go and make disciples, just as the word says. And when you just focus on, okay, I'm going to get my life together, you become like that reservoir that Pastor talks about, that you're just holding it and you're stagnant, rather than a river that flows and touches everything else and starts bringing life. And when you have your own problems and struggles, it's easy to just scoot back and focus on your stuff, especially as a teenager.
Yeah.
But then when you're able to get into that mindset, which I'm sure helps having a great family that came up in a church, but then a huge church as well that pours into people, you're being able to step back and being like, okay, I am dealing with issues, but there is somebody else out there that's dealing with more.
Yeah.
And being able to see that is huge, because there's a lot of people in your schools that probably don't.
Yeah.
Or like you said, they don't have help at home. They don't have maybe both parents or any parents, or they live with whoever, or they don't have a lot of friends. Like, those aren't the people that are able to just, hey, let me go pour in, go pour in. Those are the people that need some pouring in, and see that love, see that example of the Lord that we're supposed to be.
Yeah. People sense that on you, too.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Especially when you walk around with the joy of the Lord in your heart, because you're a very joyful person. You're very rarely do I see you down. You're usually always got a smile on your face. People start sensing that, and it's not just like a class clown type of way. It's just like, hey, I'm just a happy kid. I'm a happy guy because I know that the Lord has given me a lot. I don't have it as bad nearly as any other people, and I'm just here to help. I'm here to serve whatever you guys need.
You can just start with a conversation from a friend or anyone, really.
That's so huge, because we talk about that in youth so many times. You're probably not going to get somebody to church if you go up there and slap scripture on them.
Yeah.
It's going to be a conversation of being a friend.
Conversation about hobbies that we share is things that we connect about.
Right.
Somebody's a musician, that's great, but you like hunting and fishing, and you got all these other things that you can do that you can connect with somebody else that's in high school and do the same things you do. It's not just like, oh yeah, all I know is church. It's good to know church, because eventually we're going to lead there.
Yeah.
But first we're going to start off as friends, like Jesus sitting down with, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Jesus wasn't inviting people to the temple first. Jesus was going where they were at, sitting down with them and creating a relationship,
Right.
showing love, grace, and mercy.
Yeah. Right.
And that's what brought him in. That's what captivated the people. The people that needed love, joy, grace, and mercy were receiving it from him, so they went for him.
Yeah.
Right.
They followed after him. It's contagious.
The scripture says Jesus would sit down with the worst of sinners. You know, in fact, he called Zacchaeus out of a tree and said, "I'm going to your house." Nobody likes Zacchaeus. That's what the story don't tell you.
Basically, was robbing people.
Right. Nobody likes Zacchaeus, but he said, "I'm going to your house, buddy." You know, and what's going to happen from there? And that's a part of being a part of the river, being a part of the kingdom is like, hey, we're going to go to where no one else wants to go.
Right.
We reach people that no one else wants to reach.
We want everybody.
We want everybody.
Yeah.
Especially, and somebody like you, Caleb, which he graduated, but young people in your class, you see way more people a day than we see.
Yeah. And I'll try to do this. I'll try to start this thing the past couple weeks.
Oh, bro, hit us
this
with
thing
it.
at school. It's just a me thing. Like, I just started
He drops this late
thinking,
in the
but I've tried to sit with a different group of people every day at school at lunch.
Yeah.
And so at school we have a A and B day schedule. So It's like A B A B A B and then C. And C we it's everybody.
Okay.
And so I've tried to sit at a different table every day. And today it didn't work because we had to be in the lunchroom because it was raining and everything. But it's just, it's not just like rando people. It's like people that I know.
Yeah. Had a conversation with before. Yeah.
But I just go sit with them and just start talking. And then from there, just try to change it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. Just work the conversation. It ain't like, hey, as soon as you go in there, the main goal, the long game, this is a race. So the long game is to get them to the kingdom. Yeah. But it ain't like, okay, I'm going to go over here, I'm going to spark up a conversation, and we have to get to this or this or this. Wherever it flows, it flows. And as long as you're following the Lord, that's what, like we pray before, we've talked about, like in prayer, hey, Lord, open my eyes to opportunities. Mm-hmm. Then give me the boldness and courage to act on those opportunities. Mm-hmm. But then give me the words to speak. Because you can go see an opportunity, put yourself in there, and blank out. Yeah. But give me the words to speak to wherever this conversation needs to go. Like, and I'll pray that over myself at work because, hey, you don't ever know who you're going to come in contact with at work. But I need to know, hey, where do you want this conversation to go? And if at the end of that conversation it ends and I feel like we'll have another one, great, because that's the whole point is let's get them close to the point where we're comfortable coming to church together. And
wisdom is a major thing in those conversations, I will say, because like you're sitting there, right, and you don't want to just like start hitting them with like, God said this, God said that, but like, you have to know those times when you do start going into that kind of stuff.
Right, because you can't shy away. Yeah.
Yeah. Because, like, it was, I think it was last Thursday, I was sitting with someone, and we were talking about, I don't even remember what we were talking about, and they were like, well, tell us a little bit about yourself. And then I was like, ooh, you know what I'm saying? Like, get into it now.
Yeah.
And then that's, like, the time where I started just kind of talking and just ministering, and I invited them to church, and they were like, well, we don't have a ride. And I was like, well, I'll see if I can get you a ride. And then I asked Mom, and she was like, yeah, I'll see it next Wednesday, so possibly this Wednesday.
Let's go, bro. See, that's huge. It's just opening up.
It makes me want to be a Christian, you know? Like,
oh, absolutely.
If I wasn't a Christian, he makes me want to be a Christian.
You walk around with a smile.
Chill.
A guy that walks around with a smile on his face is somebody you want to be around.
Just chill. I love it,
bro. I love it. I'm glad we got to some wisdom there from little Colby Barksdale right there at the end of the podcast. I love it, dude.
Finally, we had to get
send us something for us all today. It's something for all of us to do. I'll say at work, I go to lunch by myself a lot. And very often, I could go with a lot of my coworkers. And every once in a while I do, but a lot of times I go by myself. But how much more of an impact would it be if I went down our break room and ate rather than went out and ate by myself?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just something for everybody to take in. All right, before we get out,
food for thought.
I got a couple announcements, but anything you want to leave with the people? Another word of wisdom.
Anything for the project of the kingdom.
Do what God's called you to do.
That's it. But hey, and talk about having wisdom. Mm-hmm. Lord said he gives it liberally. Just ask for it. Mm-hmm. And he gives it to you. He just boom, 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 boom. Here you go. But you got to ask for it.
That money.
You got to remember to ask for it, Lord. If you want to have wisdom, you got to ask for it. You got to do what he said. Okay, so we have a couple of announcements. One, this is final podcast of September. So next month is October. So October is Family Friends Month, and October is also Braxton's return.
Whoa!
Like I said, the last time we see your comments, somebody said, hey, I miss Braxton. Me too. Me too.
We all miss him.
My buddy's coming back in October, and we got October's a big month, not just for this church, but for this podcast. We got a little special announcement that's going out. But also for any LSU fans, I want y'all to perk your ears up real quick. LSU fans, it's going okay this year. It's going all right. We have an LSU game day raffle basket.
What?
That we are raffling off.
Crazy.
$20 a ticket.
What?
$20 a ticket. And you'll go in the raffle. It is 2 LSU tickets to the Auburn game on October the 14th. There's LSU t-shirt, hat, There's some candy up in there, a little tumbler thing. Plenty of stuff.
Yeah.
So you need to go to our Instagram or Facebook or wherever your social is and check out the Venmo. You can send it to Venmo and you can send it to Cash App. $20. We got our tags on there, and you'll enter into that drawing. We are going to do the drawing on October the 8th. That is a Sunday before the game, so you got plenty of time to buy tickets, but then also plenty of time to plan. So go out there and do that. It'll be our last fundraiser of the year. This is for camps. So sending people to camp helps with sending people to camp don't have the money to go. We sent like 49 kids to camp this year, and a lot of them are sponsored by fundraisers. And I'm not a big like, hey, give me your money. So I always am about like, hey, if you're going to give some money, you need to be able to get something from it.
Right.
But you also need to know where the money's going to go. So camps and then parties, like Fall Fest parties, youth hangouts, game nights,
snacks, probably in youth.
Our Christmas party, gas going to youth rallies. Like this goes, all of it, 100% goes to the student fund. So if you don't buy a ticket, hey, if you don't buy, you can't win. But if you don't buy a ticket, no big deal. Still come and enjoy all the benefits of being at the river. And last announcement is huge deal. This Sunday, I know it's last minute notice. Huge notice. We are having a special youth service this Sunday, October the 1st. Special guest speaker. Please show up. We're going to give you a surprise, but you are going to want to be here 11 a.m. in the Student Center, October the 1st. Be here.
Promise you don't want to miss it.
I promise you do not want to miss that. We'll have our youth hyphen with a set and then a special guest speaker.
Once in a lifetime opportunity.
11 a.m. this Sunday. Anything else, Ricky Shane? Signing us off?
Let's go, bro.
Great episode.
y'all.
Thank you, Lil Colby, for being on here again.
My pleasure.
That's what I'm talking about.
Chick-fil-A.
What's that like Chick-fil-A?
My Chick-fil-A.
Let's go.
Ricky Shane, thank you for being on here. All you guys, hey, thanks for listening, watching, subscribing, commenting, liking, sharing, everything that you do. Thank you guys. Love y'all.